Oh, it's streaming. I don't do this a ton, so I am going to verify this is actually working. And I can always edit it later. But it should be working.
This is my favorite dentist hack to clear.
Oh, we got YouTube ads. We have to be productive, so we don't have a ton of time for testy, test. But I think it should be working. So if I go to my little anemic channel, because, oh, it is working. But if I go into it, oh, okay, cool. All right, so I'm streaming because I'm very unnatural at this because I didn't grow up with camera. Cameras in my face. So I've been arguing with FedEx in a way that is, I think, it's just like a nightmare, and I give up. They lost a. So the bottom line is, my brother shipped me a box full of my most valuable possessions, and FedEx lost it, and they admitted that they lost it. It's a convoluted story, and I don't think everyone really wants all the details. But I will tell you that he shipped it, and I'll show you. I think actually, if I am smart enough to use this software, if I shrink myself, hi, now I'm down here. You can see my desktop. So let's see. This is my little FedEx folder because this is a saga. Is deeply symbolic of our lives, all of us. Just fighting a corporation that really only gives you AI agents to talk to and a technical bureaucracy that's designed to choke you before you actually get any sense of service or, in the best case, justice. So shipping images, this is awesome. So this is everything, if it works, that my brother shipped me. And it's a long story, which would make another great stream, to be honest with you, but there's a lot of stuff. Like the clothes in here is like years of clothes. There's some like 4K cameras here. There is a bunch of high quality audio. There's a switcher. There's iPads, iPhones. And FedEx, after like a week, this might be a good time to flip to my visual here, my supporting doc. Let's see, timeline. So you guys can come along for this journey. There's a lot of this is going to be very boring, but that's because it's certain, like, we just have to get shit done. I'm tired of doing this alone. Now I'm just reaching out to the internet. So on May 15th, he shipped it, and it was delayed like 5 days later. And then they initially said there was a payment issue, and then when we called and opened the case, they actually said it was rerouted due to a system-wide glitch to Olive Branch, Mississippi, and that it was accidentally flagged as fraud, and it sat there. They promised that nothing was lost, and in fact, they acknowledged that this happened. I think if I have done this right, that, let's see, FedEx, this is a voicemail from them at the time. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Otherwise I'll edit it out. Don't judge my music. Let's see. No, that's not it. Let's try again. QuickTime.
Hello, this message is for Scott Cannon. I received a message that you were requesting to speak with a manager within our fraud department concerning your fraud case 439296.
439296, if anyone wants to help.
From my research here, I definitely know this was a system error where we intercepted your shipment mistakenly. Any
error mistakenly, right? So there's no real fraud here, just to be clear.
Type of refunds, but I don't know if this has been actually billed to your credit card, but if it has, once we get your shipment delivered to you, you can definitely reach out to our billing department and request a refund.
By the way, FedEx doesn't have a billing department.
Shipping, definitely understand that. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to give me a call back at 1-855-556-0557, extension 100773. I am here in the office today until 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Just to let you know if I am away.
By the way, this sounds like a completely normal, nice person who I'm sure is just stuck behind the organization that is FedEx and is probably a great human being, totally disempowered to do their job.
From my desk or on the phone or in a meeting, just leave me a message and reference your fraud case 439296. I don't have an update of when this will be released. I know we're trying to get it out of our warehouse on your behalf as quickly as possible, but it may take some time for our warehouse to get this released out of there. I definitely apologize for that. But Demetria will continue to work with you to get this shipment released as quickly as possible. Also, if you leave me a voice message, it may take me a day or so to call you back, just because I am in meetings throughout the day and things of that nature. Thank you.
Again, I'm sure perfectly normal, competent human being trying to do their best with very limited resources and tools and empowerment to do that. I think that was Sandy. Sandy is an employee at FedEx, and she manages another employee called Demetria, and Demetria is in charge of the day-to-day of this case. So let's go back to the timeline so you all have the story. The voicemail comes in, I don't know, somewhere around here, I think the 29th, and then I think that's the date that voicemail was left. On June 11th, 2 out of the 3 packages are delivered. So let me go back to my little slide order. These are all the things. These are all the boxes. 2 small boxes, 1 big box. Now, this is the part of the story where we have to give my brother amnesty. He put all the low-value things in these small boxes, and he put all the high-value things in this box. So fast forward to June 11th, and let's see, we can get to all this another time. Fast forward to June 11th, and 2 out of the 3 boxes get delivered. 2 out of the 3. Now, you may ask, which box didn't make it? It's the box with all the high-value electronics. And so FedEx initially was like, hey, like, we have it. And this went on for some time. This is a really boring slide, but it's the only thing that keeps my story kind of in order. Initially, they were like, we have it. You're going to get it. Don't worry. And then eventually, on July 30th, Demetria called and said, hey, we actually threw it out in error, which is hilarious. We'll get to, like, the whole, like, to be serious about it, like, the whole legalities of, like, what it means to have thrown it, to admit you've thrown it out in error, because really FedEx, like, their whole thing is to not throw things out, is to actually be a safe, careful carrier of people's packages, not just, maybe a Christmas present here or there, but businesses, organizations, people ship all kinds of things that are low value and high value. It doesn't matter what it is. FedEx's job is to be this really thoughtful, kind of global, high quality carrier. What's not in their mission is we throw boxes out. You could get maybe my head around lost, like in a warehouse, but they were clear. They threw it out. And of course, they threw out the one that was filled with all the high-value stuff. And so this, of course, sent me down into a dark spiral, and it's very, very upsetting. And I had to calculate the value that was lost and blah, blah, blah. So my first action, of course, was to file a police report, which, again, if I go back to my little FedEx, let's see, since you're all going to stay on the journey with me for shits and giggles. Where's my FedEx folder? Here it is. We have, let's see, police report in Mahwah, New Jersey. So who knows what's on the screen? I don't think there's anything that's private. But in any case, Mahwah is helping to investigate the theft. And for that, I, of course, had to calculate a value. It's like $11,000. And you're going to say, wow, what were you doing with $11,000? And actually do have an inventory, which we're going to look at. And there's actually one really important detail. So that kind of changes the story. In the box, there was a piece of cloud software, and the cloud software has this like license key, and I don't know, how do I even explain this to you? This is partially why I don't like to stream, because like I don't have time to write scripts and do high quality production. But in any case, the box contained this license that got used, and so when I went to go open the program, I got this message that said, your license has been used somewhere else. And this happened after the box was reported, thrown out, discarded. So in my mind, this is a key data point, because now you can say, actually something in the box was stolen, because that would mean that somebody else, took the license and activated it. If that makes any sense. So again, in the box, actually, let's just go back for fun, because all of this is relatively inane, and once we have this set up, we can actually just get to the important stuff. The supporting documentation. In here, this little, I think you can see the cursor. Let's zoom in for fun. This is emotionally cathartic. So this Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera 4K has an online license, and I use that. Look at my beautiful shoes. Aren't they nice? In any case, that online license got triggered on another computer. And so FedEx, my guess is FedEx didn't lose it. FedEx was aware that it was high value and it was stolen. And it was probably sold. It was either stolen by an employee or contractor, or it was stolen and then resold, like on Facebook Marketplace or whatever. So I call the police. I try to call FedEx, and I have no luck. No one will answer the phone. I can't even file a claim. I think if I remember correctly, again, my whole little story lives in this folder, my lost receipts. These are the receipts for everything that was lost. Phone statements for all the call records. FedEx. Oh yeah, this is where it is. I have tried to log in and file a claim, and their website doesn't work. You don't have access to that. I don't know what an admin login is. This was on September 22nd. This is the other one. This happened, by the way, just the other day, too. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm able to file a claim. I can't call customer service. The case is closed. And then so they say file a claim, and then you come to the claim website, and you can't do that. I tried to email their CEO, and the email bounces. Although I will say, I tried another email, and I think it went through. And no word back, surprisingly. So the claim form, I think, kind of worked. And I want to actually just use this time to, fill it out. Here's my friends at FedEx that I'm trying to get to resolve my issue. This is Raj Subramaniam. He's the CEO. I'm pretty sure that Bree here runs customer support or customer service. They have this thing called the Purple Promise, which is that every single customer interaction should be delightful or some nonsense like that. And so I'd love them to be able to live through and live up to that promise. It's really what I am aiming to see. And honestly, by the way, how much, let's just see, how much is FedEx worth? $61 billion is their market cap. So as just a normal guy who lost $11,000, they have systems for this. They're the most digitally oriented, optimized logistics company in the world. They have a team dedicated to solving issues like this, probably primarily for large organizations. The idea that we're trying to figure out what happened, and what I would assert is a claim or a payout to make it right is a drop in the bucket. And I think people get really, there's some kind of shame or humility around well, I don't want to ask for that. Fuck that. This is a company that's worth almost $62 billion, and they were negligent and unresponsive. And again, longer story, but this is actually really damaging because I don't have my things. It's again, longer story maybe for another day. So I did finally log in, and we're going to try to file a claim. Now, I'm the recipient. My brother, Scott, is the one who mailed this. So let's see if we can actually get through this. And I'm really sorry that if you stay through this, like, I don't know, deserve a gold star. But I think it's important for me to get it done. So these are the 3 tracking numbers. This one, the one highlighted, which is hilarious because you can look it up. Let's go look it up. It doesn't even say that it's lost or that it went to Mississippi. It says, I think I can just do this, FedEx. I think FedEx to this day says that it's in New York, held up. Yeah, exception. It's still on the way, and we're actively working to get you a new delivery date. And as of May 16th, it's stuck in Blauvelt, New York. So this is just the kind of stuff where you're like I'm furious. Like, I don't know if furious is the word, but, you know, I think FedEx definitely has some areas of improvement. So we are going to file a claim. Now let's see if it works for this particular box. Awesome. Today it worked. And my role is technically, well, Scotty's the shipper, and I'm submitting it because the shipment is lost, has been damaged, or I have an issue with something else. Now this box was admittedly discarded, so I don't see anything for we threw it away. But let's go with lost. I don't know. I'm sure it doesn't matter. Or maybe it just matters deeply, and it'll be grounds for dismissal of the claim. What is the status? The system says my shipment was delivered. Nope. The system says my shipment was not delivered. That's true too. Let's see what happens here. Excuse me. Next. Okay. So they captured that automatically. And let's do this. I'm going to go back to this amazing piece of software. I'm going to hide. Look at all this. I'm going to hide the desktop because I got to fill this out with my brother's contact information. It feels kind of sketchy to do that on the internet. But I'm going to, well, you guys, I will narrate this. I don't know. I kind of feel like, I don't know, if you've ever seen that movie, it's really old, this will date me, from the 90s called Falling Down, starring Michael Douglas. Basically, this guy, he lives in Los Angeles, and he gets cut off in traffic on the way to work, and he loses his mind. And basically, that's like the straw that broke the camel's back. And he gets out of his car and kind of goes on. I don't want to call it it is like a rampage. I don't know about the violence part. It's not cool. But it's not good. And I think, whatever that was 30 years ago, it's literally just as valid, if not more so, today. Because you're like, well, even if I can wrap my mind around the fact that you guys lost something, you're not even willing to get on the phone and, I don't know, have a conversation about it. So that just feels lame. And hold on, we're almost done, I think. The thing about this is we're going to fill this claim out, and it is it's rough. It's rough. It's a lot of things, what I was going to say. Okay, so that is done. Hopefully the internet did not betray me. I'm going to go back down to my little corner, and because I will have to delete this video if it betrayed me. So what category would best describe your package? So it's really filled with electronics mostly. Let's do computer equipment. How would you like to label this? Let's call it discarded package, olive branch, MS, right? Because that's where they say in phone calls things happened. All right. So Provide information about the items in your shipment that were damaged. All fields are limited to 100 characters. So I do have this information, and I'm trying to think about the best way to get it. All right, I have to log in to my Gmail and like fetch everything. So please hold. Actually did all this work, so it's going to be tedious data entry. And again, you know, who knows? Like, I bet you on some level this form craps out and I have to like re-enter everything another day because I don't have time today to. I spend like at least an hour every day trying to solve this problem. All right, so let's shrink this. I should really just do videos like this for a living. All right, so here's everything. I'm not hiding anything. This is everything that was in that box that got stolen. And by the way, it contained my passport and like my birth certificate and my vax documentation and a whole bunch of other stuff. So it wasn't pure electronics because we're gonna start with a bathing suit, but it was a lot of electronics. And we'll go from there. So before this website craps out, my claim, let's just do this. And I guess let's insert a row or a column rather to the left and create a status called entered. And we will just, hopefully, this is like a copy and paste, Nordstrom bathing suit. We're putting the tax in because that's how much it cost, unit cost. Oh, do I have to, 38.33? Quantity, 1. Right? There, that's, oh my God, this is, it's not that bad. How many rows are there? Okay, it is that bad. Well, there's not going to be economics for these things, so like 58. So it's 55, it's fine. Black magic, this is a big ticket item. Part name, number, serial number. Oh my God. Okay. Add item. So where would you, oh my God. See, this is why, add item. Unit cost. Okay, cool. I love this. Oh, because it's a formula. 1409.93. 1409.93. 1409.93. Quantity 1. Do they really expect me to enter in all this information? Black magic. Oh, I actually do have the serial number, which feels like relatively important. Black magic serial number. Nope. Wait, let me go to my little evidence trove. Honestly, it's been like a non-trivial amount of time. There it is. Gathering just the evidence. I think it's 209, 100, 204. Let's see, 209, 100, 204. By the way, I'm going to make mistakes. There's just no way that I'm going to be able to get through this perfectly, but so be it. The shipment cost. Yeah, let's not even forget about that, but we'll get to it at the end. Here is a lens adapter. Oops. Okay, we want to speed run through this. I'm literally live streaming this because I hate doing stuff like this. And it doesn't even, 521.51. One thing I wonder is how I'm going to upload all the receipts for this. You know, look at this. Proof of value, documentation that shows proof of value and proof of damage is required. Ensure you have, so I do have all these things. Upload, oh my God, FedEx, lost receipts. There we go. I hope you can upload multiple files at once because maximum file size is 4 megs. That's fine. Okay. Oh my God. All right, let's keep going. No, this is if there was an easier way to switch tabs, I'm sure there is. Apple Magic Keyboard. 174.48. One of these. Now someone might tell me if they were giving me advice to just focus on the big ticket items. I guess. But then you're kind of off principle. 325.40, right? 325.45. One. Okay. Add items. Audio. This is ridiculous. These are mixing headphones. 378.31. What is it? 378.31. One of these. Okay. There's got to be an easy. No, there is no easier way to do this. 114.31. Also, since I'm like of a certain age, everything I bought is online. 114.31. You would like. I don't know. How would most people even have this stuff? To be honest with you. Okay. Yeah, these are all the higher value things up front. Oh, the ATEM Mini Pro. It's a saga, a saga. When I thought that by now I would have posted like hundreds of videos. 54574. 545.74. That's when I thought I would be producing these like high quality videos for work. And we don't do these things like we think. Oh, Samsung drives. They don't even really make these anymore. Not in the, they do, but they throttled down some of the speeds, so you can't get this exact model. 215.43. One. Okay. And we're just gonna keep going. I would love it if like they're 130.64. They're like insurance people inspected this. $9.87. Don't say I'm not thorough. I'm so thorough. I'm so thoroughly bored. Saturday afternoon, by the way. It's my Saturday. By the way, you would wonder maybe why it's November and I'm filing this now. I literally couldn't file it until the end of October. It was broken. From my experience, it was broken. And I also have the police investigating the stolen license key. $299. Which has really been the focus, which is to say, like, actually getting the evidence secured for proving theft, which is like it's a whole separate thing, right? It's a whole can of worms. Now, I will tell you this. That company, which can prove theft, is called Black Magic, 206.81. And they want nothing to do with this. Nothing. I can't say that they've been difficult, but they have not been easy by any stretch of the imagination. 49.28. They're an Australian company, so on some level I get it. Like, why would you want to get caught up in some kind of like U.S. investigation, especially one where it's like 92966 being driven out of like 9.66 New Jersey. Couldn't possibly be further. 929.66 929. Couldn't possibly be further from Australia. Let's keep going. I can't add more items. A limit of 10. Okay, there we go. Let's do this. So what we're going to do is, this is a development I did not anticipate. We're going to download this as a PDF. Okay. Oof. Portrait? No, let's do landscape. If they zoom, can someone actually read this if they zoom in? Yeah, I mean, it's not. You can also include the link, but let's do that. So let's export it and save it. And then there is the link to the document itself. So let's share, let's copy the link. I guess you guys could all see it too. I don't care. Copy link, anyone with the link. So shipping cost, oh, how could we forget that? $290.96. Watch, they'll be like, we'll refund you the shipping cost. $290.96. Okay, full loss is documentation attached, link here, right? Put that there. Documentation attached, and the full loss is $11,141.81. That's not even like my emotional losses. Actually, there has been real losses in terms of work from some of these things, and I can't afford to replace them. Like, I truly cannot. It took years to buy these things. Years. Okay, now they limited it to 10, so you do wonder if they have a limit on the attachments. I would assume that they do. So I honestly do not have the time or attention to attach every single. Yeah, they're not gonna cut off the loss because their form is small. But let's see if we can include the things that Apple Magic Atom, Audio Technica, Black Magic. Where's that stupid Nordstrom bathing suit, which I don't even wear because it's not cute. There it is. Let's see. Lulu, HDMI cable. Did I just, yeah. DJI mic, disc, CF card, CDL, boat. Oh, my boat shirt. I swear to God, Metabones. And by the way, this couldn't have come at a worse time. My life has literally fallen apart. My brother sending this to me was supposed to help, and unfortunately, it was just as bad as the fucking demons I'm dealing with. It's literally taken me like 2 months to even be able to deal with this issue without like breaking into hives. I don't know. Let's see. Touch ID keyboard. What else? I don't think. Let's see. Open. Interesting. So maybe. All right. Sorry, everyone. We're gonna try something a little different. So we are gonna upload. Before we forget, let's go to downloads and upload that. That may actually be better because that contains the links to all the receipts. But in the event, God, I don't know. I don't think there's anything in here. Fuck it, who cares? Anyways, honestly, at this point, let my life be an open book in every single possible way. Let's just select it all. It doesn't seem like it's capped. There was some error. So did it grab them all? We don't know. Let's just see. Abercrombie to Vince Slub. By the way, if anyone needs help thinking about like how to deal with these companies, you should call me because I'm not entirely bad at it. Okay. Vince, I don't know, 7 for All Mankind. Those are my jeans. I mean, they kind of lost my most, they did not kind of, they lost my most important thing. That was the whole algorithm for the box. Scotty, can you send me the most important things? And he did. Mostly. And open. I think it failed on that file. Who knows? Well, the most important things are there. I think we just want to get the claim open. Primary contact. It's going to be me, the receiver. Please hold. Please hold. I look crazy. And maybe when one takes to the internet for any sense of connection on an issue, they are crazy. Maybe they are. I'm going to get this issue resolved. I'll go to Mississippi if I have to, just on the principle of it. Or FedEx's headquarters, which I looked up as, I don't remember right this second. Maybe shipper. Doesn't matter. Refund, yeah, US dollars. Oh, wait. Let's get this. It's going to be part of this. Tracking number. That's the right tracking number. Let's submit it. This is big. Been waiting forever. For the most part, to get this into them because their stupid website wouldn't work. How was your experience filing this claim today? What do we think? I don't know. Let's give them 4 out of 5 stars because it worked, but not entirely. What made you choose this score? Your form doesn't allow more than 10 items, and my box, and certainly most people's boxes, I shouldn't say that. 10 is a lot of these discrete items, but certainly most people's boxes likely, I shouldn't say most, but I would say many, and certainly many people's boxes likely contain more than 10 items. So I had to submit the full list as a PDF separately. I'm sure they're reviewing that. Now, what happened in the background? I love this. We understand. This is, by the way, this is the kind of stuff where it's just hilarious. We understand the form's limitations. Can you share more about how it's affected your experience? Wow. Well, I would say like my experience was that FedEx didn't get the full value, didn't receive the full claim value in the form. That's really, they're using AI for this. Okay, we're this far. Which of the following best describes your reason? Other. Claim. I don't even understand. These aren't reasons, these are roles. Are you currently trying to resolve? Yeah, I sure am. Is the nature of your problem, so it's something else. And I wonder, like, this is actually funny because this is like a research, customer experience thing. This is more exhaustive than the actual claim form. Customer service jams this into the website. Let's see, account, problem, claims. Can you describe the problem you are trying to resolve? My package was discarded during transit by FedEx. And I can also prove that the items were sold, so likely it was theft. By the way, I sent this to the CEO and I got no reply. You would think he would be somewhat concerned. Non-delivery would be the issue. He would be likely somewhat interested. Okay, what is this? We're having trouble connect. Oh, they have some kind of back-end thing. Okay, claim number. This is huge. I mean, not that it's going to get paid, but I've been trying to get a claim filed literally for months. So now let's get out of here and... Oh, Have you guys been looking at this the whole time? That would be weird. I guess no. I'll only know when I look at the video later. So, sorry. I think the next step will probably be to reach out to some of their senior people, and we'll go from there. Thanks for tuning in. More soon.